I need to tell you something that nobody in corporate America wants you to know. And in full transparency, it's probably going to piss you off. The average woman in midlife needs approximately $2 million dollars to retire comfortably. $2 million. dollars. And if you're over 40 right now, working your corporate job, doing everything right, you're not even close. In fact, you're falling further behind every single day. But here's the part that's going to really shock you. Women half your age with half your experience are building six-figure businesses while you're still waiting for a promotion that's never coming. I'm about to show you exactly why this is happening and what you can do about it before it's too late. But before I do, allow me to introduce myself. Hey, friend, my name is Quinn, and I am on a mission to help women in midlife create more freedom, ownership, and opportunity for themselves by turning their existing skills and experience into smart, purpose driven income streams. So, let me paint a picture of what's really going on here. Right now, there's a 28-year-old content creator making $15,000 a month teaching people how to organize their closets. There's a 32-year-old business coach who's never run a business charging $3,000 for a course. And there's a 25-year-old on TikTok giving career advice and getting brand deals. Meanwhile, you've got 20 years of actual expertise. You've managed teams, solved real problems, built systems, and navigated crises. You've done the actual work, but somehow they're getting paid and you're getting overlooked. And do you want to know why? Because they figured out something you weren't taught. They learned how to package what they know and sell it directly to the people who need it. While you were climbing the corporate ladder, they were building income streams that don't require anyone's permission. And here's the kicker: everything that they're teaching, you already know it. You just never thought to monetize it. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but Quinn, I have a good job. I have benefits. I'm being responsible here. And I want to be very clear. I am not telling you to quit your job tomorrow. I am not anti corporate, and I'm definitely not here to scare you. But I am inviting you to pay attention to what's actually happening here, especially behind closed doors. In those all hands meetings, you hear words like efficiency, optimization, future ready. What you don't hear is the full context behind those decisions. Here's the quiet shift most companies aren't naming out loud. People who know how to use AI are starting to outpace people who don't, not because they're smarter, but because they're more leveraged. And the math matters. If you're an experienced professional, you cost more. That's not a criticism, it's just reality, sis. Many organizations can hire two younger employees for the cost of one seasoned you. And now that AI is handling more of the entry level work these younger employees used to do, companies are asking a different question than they used to. Not, is experience valuable, but how is that experience being leveraged? That's the uncomfortable part. Not because your experience doesn't matter, but because it isn't always being positioned as essential in the way today's systems measure value. So instead of saying, we don't need senior judgment, you're going to hear things like, we're restructuring, or we're streamlining, or we're offering early retirement options. And you're expected to simply nod, stay calm, and not read between the lines. Now, don't get me wrong, this video is not about causing panic. It's about raising awareness because experience still matters and it matters very deeply. But in this season, it has to be articulated, paired with modern tools, and clearly tied to outcomes. Because what's actually being rewarded right now isn't tenure, it's leverage. And once you understand that, you can make decisions from a place of strategy instead of surprise. Now, here's what I need for you to understand. This isn't about being negative. This is about being realistic. If you're 45 years old right now and you want to retire at 65, if you're making $75,000 a year, even if you save aggressively and your investments do well, you're still going to fall short of that $2 million dollars that you need. And that's if everything goes perfectly. That's if you don't get laid off. That's if you don't have a health crisis. That's if your aging parents don't need your financial help. That's if your adult children don't move back home. That's if the economy doesn't tank, and that's if your company doesn't decide to restructure. How many ifs are you comfortable betting your future on? Because here's what's actually happening right now while you're waiting for security. Younger women with less experience are making more money with less stress because they're not dependent on one income source that could disappear tomorrow. They're building businesses around what they know, they're getting paid for their expertise directly, and they're creating multiple income streams. And they're doing it while you're still waiting for HR to approve your raise request. Now, before you click off this video thinking this doesn't apply to me or I'm too old to start something new, I need you to hear this. You are not too old. You're too experienced to keep playing small. You have something that they don't, which is real expertise. You've actually done the work. You've actually solved the problems. You've actually led the teams and you've actually navigated the challenges. The only difference between you and the people making money from their knowledge is that they decided to package and sell it. That's it. That's the only difference. They're not smarter than you. They're not more qualified than you. They're just willing to bet on themselves in a way that you haven't yet. So here's what I did. I've spent over 7 years studying hundreds of midlife women who went from overlooked employees to business owners who earn. I analyzed what worked, I mapped out patterns, I identified the business models that are actually making money. And I found 5 specific ways that women over 40 are turning their experience into income streams that are replacing their corporate salaries. Some of them are even making more than they ever made in corporate. And before you start thinking, but I don't have a big following or I don't know how to do tech stuff, let me stop you right there. None of that matters. What matters is that you have knowledge people need and you're willing to package it in a way that they can buy. So let me break down the 5 business models that are actually working right now for women just like you. Business model number one is the positioning expert. The first way women over 40 are making serious money is by helping other women in their industry get recognized and hired for what they actually know. Here's what's happening. You've got all these talented women who are brilliant at what they do, but invisible online. Their LinkedIn looks like everyone else's. Their resume disappears into black holes. They're not getting interviewed. They're not getting promoted. They're not getting the opportunities that they deserve. And it's not because they're not qualified, it's because they don't know how to position themselves. And that's where you come in. If you spent 15 years in healthcare, you know exactly what makes someone stand out in that industry. If you've been in corporate HR, you know what hiring managers are actually looking for. If you worked in education, you know how to translate teaching skills into consulting opportunities. You can charge $2,000 to $5,000 to help someone in your industry completely rebrand themselves. You audit their online presence, you rewrite their messaging, you help them craft their signature framework, you show them how to talk about what they do in a way that makes people want to hire them. This isn't about becoming a career coach. This is about being the insider who knows the game and can help others win it. I've seen women charge $3,500 for a 4 week positioning intensive and have clients lined up because everyone wants to be seen as the expert. They just don't know how to do it. So think about this. How many women in your network right now are incredibly talented but completely invisible? Those are your first clients. Business model number two is the content multiplication system. Here's something that makes me just want to flip a table. I see brilliant women spend hours creating incredible content, a webinar, a training, a podcast episode, and then they post it once and they move on. Do you know what that is? That is leaving thousands of dollars potentially on the table. Meanwhile, the younger influencers that you're watching, they take one piece of content and turn it into 30 pieces. One YouTube video becomes 10 Instagram reels, 5 LinkedIn posts, 3 email newsletters, and a lead magnet. They're not working harder, they're working smarter. And you can help other business owners do the same thing. And women are charging $1,000 to $2,500 per month to take someone's long form content and repurpose it across every platform. You take their 1 hour webinar and create 20 social media posts from it. You pull out the best quotes, the viral moments, the teachable snippets. You schedule it all out for them, you give them back their time while multiplying their visibility. And here's the best part, you don't need to be a video editor or a graphic designer. There are AI tools now that do 80% of the work for you. You just need to understand the strategy of what makes content perform on each platform. I know women who have 5 clients paying them $1,500 a month each for this service. That's $7,500 a month for work that takes them maybe 15 hours a week once they have the systems in place. So ask yourself, do you know any entrepreneurs, coaches, or business owners who are creating great content, but nobody's seeing it? Those people need you. Business model number 3 is the framework builder. Okay, this one is going to blow your mind because you probably don't even realize you're sitting on a gold mine. Every problem you solved repeatedly at work, that's a framework. Every process you've refined over the years, that's a framework. Every way you've helped people get results, that's a framework. And frameworks are how you scale your income without trading time for money. Here's what I mean. If you've onboarded 50 employees in your career, you have an onboarding framework. If you've managed donor relationships at a nonprofit, you have a fundraising framework. If you've navigated perimenopause while working full time, you have a wellness framework. The problem is, you think what you do is just common sense because you've been doing it for so long. But to someone who's struggling with that exact problem, what you know is gold. This is where you come in as a framework builder. You interview experts who are doing incredible work but can't explain how they do it. You extract their processes, you organize it into clear steps, you give it a name, you create the worksheets and templates around it, and you help them package it into something that they can sell. This is high value work. You're not just helping someone create content, you're helping them build intellectual property. You're helping them create a legacy. And you can charge $5,000 to $10,000 for this type of strategic work because you're essentially helping them create an asset that's going to generate income for them for years. Think about the experts you know who do amazing work but have never systematized their approach. These people are sitting on 6-figure offers and they don't even know it. You can be the person who helps them see it and build it. Business model number 4, the launch validator. This one makes me emotional because I see it happen all the time. A talented woman spends 6 months building a course or a program. She pours her whole heart into it. She creates the modules, designs the worksheets, records the videos, and builds the perfect sales page. And then she launches it. No sales, no momentum, just silence. That woman has been me. And it wasn't because the offer wasn't good. It wasn't because I wasn't qualified. It was because I never validated whether people actually wanted what I was building. A launch validator helps entrepreneurs test their ideas before they invest months of time and energy into something that the market isn't asking for. You help them research the market, analyze the competition, identify gaps, and create a minimum viable offer to test demand first. So here's how it works. Instead of building a 12-week course, they create a 90-minute workshop and sell it for $47. If people buy it and love it, that's validation. Now they can confidently build a bigger program knowing there's real demand for it. And that's exactly what I did with the Second Act Summit. Our first event was virtual, not in person. And that meant if only 10 people showed up, I wasn't on the hook for venue costs, food, or production expenses. But more than 500 women registered for the event, and that told me everything I needed to know. The idea was viable, it was going to work. This is strategic thinking, and entrepreneurs will pay you $2,000 to $5,000 just for the market research and validation process because you're saving them from making a $10,000 mistake. And once you prove you can help them validate winners, they'll keep you on retainer at $1,500 to $2,500 per month for ongoing launch strategy. Think about the aspiring course creators and coaches in your network who have great ideas but don't know where to start. You can be the person who saves them from launching something that flops. Finally, business model number 5, the AI productivity partner. Okay, This is the one that's going to separate you from 90% of other women trying to make money online. Everyone's talking about AI, especially women like us who are over 40. We know it's important, but there are very few of us who know how to actually use it to make money and save time. Most business owners are either terrified of AI or they're trying to use it wrong. They're typing in generic prompts and getting generic results. They're not seeing how it could actually transform their business. And that's where you come in. You become the AI productivity partner who shows them how to use AI strategically to automate the repetitive tasks that are sucking up their time. And before you say, but I'm not tech savvy, Quinn, let me stop you right there. You don't need to be a tech expert. You just need to understand how to use tools like ChatGPT or Claude to solve specific business problems. So here's what this looks like. You audit what your client is spending time on, writing emails, creating social media captions, drafting proposals, answering customer questions. Then you create custom prompts or custom GPTs specifically for their business. For example, you might create an email response GPT that knows their brand voice and can draft client emails in 30 seconds, or a content calendar generator that understands their audience, or a proposal writer that uses their past winning proposals as templates. You're not replacing their expertise, you're amplifying it. You're giving them back 10 to 15 hours a week while maintaining quality. For a custom AI toolkit setup, you can charge $3,000 to $5,000. Then you can offer ongoing support for $1,000 to $2,000 a month for prompt updates, new tool integration, and team training. The overwhelmed business owners in your network who are drowning in admin work, they need you desperately, and they'll pay you well for this. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. You don't have to choose just one of these. You can bundle two or three of these together into a signature offer that completely transforms someone's business. Imagine offering someone the positioning package plus the AI productivity toolkit plus 3 months of ongoing support. That's a $12,000 to $20,000 package right there. And before you think, hey, nobody's going to pay me that, let me ask you this. If someone's currently paying a virtual assistant $3,000 a month, a marketing agency $5,000 a month, and a business coach $2,000 a month, that's $10,000 a month they're already spending. If you can deliver better results for a one-time fee of $15,000 plus a $2,000 monthly retainer, you're saving them money and getting them better outcomes. The key is this: stop thinking like an employee who charges by the hour and start thinking like a business owner who charges based on the value you deliver and the problems that you solve. Would you rather have 10 clients paying you $500 each or three clients paying you $10,000 each? To me, the math is obvious. High value work means fewer clients, less chaos, and more profit. Now, I need to tell you something that might make you a little uncomfortable. The reason that you're not doing this yet isn't because you don't know enough. It's not because you're not qualified. And it's not because you're too old. It's because you're scared. You're scared of being visible. You're scared of charging what you're worth. You're scared of what people will think. And you're scared of failing. And I get it because I was scared too. But here's what I realized: the fear of staying stuck forever is worse than the fear of trying and failing. I mean, think about this. What is scarier? Trying to build something new and maybe stumbling for a few months, or waking up at 62 years old, realizing that you're nowhere near retirement, you can't afford to stop working, and you're still dependent on a job that could disappear tomorrow? That second one, that's real fear. And that's what happens when you let comfort keep you small. You already have everything you need to do this. The only question is whether you're going to use it or keep pretending you need more credentials, more experience, or more time. So let me ask you outright, what are you actually waiting for? Are you waiting for someone to give you permission? Because newsflash, nobody's coming to give you permission. Are you waiting until you're ready? You're never going to feel ready. Nobody does. Are you waiting for the perfect time? There is no perfect time. There's only now and later always costs more. Here's what I know about you just from the fact that you've watched this far. You're curious, you're capable, you're smart enough to know something needs to change. The only question is whether you're brave enough to be the one who changes it. Because here's the truth, 6 months from now, you're either going to be in a completely different financial position or you're going to still be watching videos like this, wishing that you had started 6 months ago. That's it. Those are your two options. Here's what I want you to do right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Pick one of the five business models, just one, the one that made you pause and think, I could actually do that. Next, I want you to identify three people in your network who already have the exact problem that model solves. Not strangers, but people that you know. Write their names down. Then tomorrow, reach out to one of them and say this. Hey, friend, I'm starting to offer this service and I'm refining it right now. I love to try it out with someone that I trust. Would you be open to letting me do this for you in exchange for honest feedback and a testimonial? That's it. That's how you start. That's exactly how I started the content clinic. There was no website, no business card, and no perfect plan at the time. What there was a pattern that I kept noticing. I kept hearing smart, capable women say the same thing. I know what I do, but I don't know how to explain it. Or I'm posting, but nothing is converting. Or my content feels scattered. So I had one conversation, then another. Then I worked with a small test group. That's where the content clinic was shaped, not in theory, but in real time through audits, through messaging guides, through actual feedback that showed me what worked and what didn't. Each round tightened the offer, each conversation clarified the problem, each result created proof. And once I had that proof, building was easy from there. Most people never get to that point because they're waiting for perfection. But perfection does not exist. Progress does. And progress always starts the same way, one clear decision followed by one intentional action. That's how real offers get built. Now, if you're sitting here thinking, I want to do this, but I need help, I get it. And that's exactly why I created More Life in Midlife, which is my free community for women who are ready to turn their experience into income. Inside the community, you're going to get access to frameworks, templates, and coaching calls where I help you figure out exactly what to offer, how to package it, and how to find your first clients. The link is in the description, and I'd love to see you in there. But whether you join my community or not, I need you to promise me one thing. Don't let another year go by where you're still trading time for money, still waiting for a promotion, and still hoping someone else is going to secure your future. Because, sis, they're not. Nobody is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. Here's what I want you to remember when you close this video. You are not starting from scratch. You're starting from decades of experience that people would pay thousands of dollars to have. You're not behind, you're positioned. You've done the work, you've earned the wisdom, you've built the expertise. The only thing you're missing is the willingness to own it and sell it. So stop waiting for permission. Stop doubting whether you're enough. Stop wondering if it's too late. It is not too late, but it will be if you keep waiting. The second act isn't about starting over. It's about starting right now with everything that you've already earned. Your retirement isn't going to fund itself. Your freedom isn't going to build itself. Your future isn't going to secure itself, but you can. And I just showed you exactly how. If this video woke you up, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me which business model you're going to start with. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.